Hello everybody and welcome to my new video. So today I want to cover another high growth tech stocks that I've been investing in for a little while and I've never covered it on the channel. So let me go ahead and tell you about MongoDB. Before I begin, none of this is investment advice, of course. So what is MongoDB? So MongoDB is a database, data management software. It's data management software that's in the cloud. And it is in one of the fastest growing markets in software, which is, part of the mega trend of big data. Organizations are becoming more and more complex, and they need to migrate their data to the cloud, and they need to manage it in a inexpensive and efficient way. And the market is a little different, of course, than a lot of other markets. Why? Because they focus on developers. So while other approaches focus, say, on the whole company, trying to find one solution for all of its data somewhere, say a Snowflake, MongoDB does it a little differently, where they are trying to compete for workloads. So they are not competing for the whole company. They're competing for the developers' share. They want the developers to use the product to develop different workloads based on MongoDB's data management software. And let me move on a little bit. So, and they have a lot of advantages because they've created a general purpose mission critical database that is proprietary, that is MongoDB, that's not SQL. And they have performance, scalability, security, and of course they are in the cloud. And they claim to be the most loved general purpose mission critical database that addresses the modern requirements of modern applications. Again, why applications? Because this is for developers. And the company grows or competes for business from both new workloads, so new applications that you build for your business, as well as transition from old relational databases and relational technology into the cloud workloads and into the MongoDB system. And really briefly, let me show you this. So it's a developer-oriented platform. Their main product, more than 60% of their sales is called Atlas. And Atlas is a tool that helps you develop your apps without the need for SQL, but in the MongoDB language, and it's a very popular tool. And what is an example of a work tool, for example? Well, operational work tool, for example, is you can do a website and you can sell products and do a little add to cart button. That's your operations, that's your consumer facing website. You can do transactions. So a manager, a plant manager, a company CEO, top employee in a company can look in real time at how much stuff they sell. They can do that. It's called transactional workload. And there's other things. They can do things like dashboards to assess where you sell your products, what's current market price, what's your conversion price over time. So you can do that. That's the famous dashboards where you look at this, and you can even create mobile apps for your company. So imagine this business of selling flowers. You could develop an app that tells the factory or the warehouse worker how many is in stock, what needs to be shipped, etc., etc. So you can really create different tools for your entire IT in your organization, and they're going after more and more workload, right? It's not a single platform that tries to go for everything. They just want to have developers run more and more workload, and developers have their preferences, and there's a lot of options that they can choose to build the next big thing or to create applications for their company. Developers can choose a lot of applications, a lot of different databases they can choose. And this is one of the survey that shows from Stack Overflow that shows some of the best or most wanted databases by developers. And you see MySQL right here. So MySQL was what Snowflake was founded on. And of course, Snowflake is such a big company now. And MongoDB is number 4 in that list. So MongoDB is very popular among developers. It's a company that has been around for a little while, and it's very, very popular for developers. It's actually more popular than Microsoft SQL Server. So very interesting that you can get developers to choose to develop specific workloads with MongoDB. They're like, okay, that specific app within the business, like that warehouse app, we're going to decide to choose MongoDB and develop it in MongoDB. And that's in a nutshell what they do. Knowing that Snowflake, and I'll get to it when I talk about the competition. Snowflake may be seen as competition today because they developed their Snowpark system where you can use just about any language, including the easiest languages, to communicate and build on Snowflake. But that doesn't mean that Snowflake is going to win everything. Companies have their preferences, developers have their preferences, and MongoDB seems to have a lead among more technical users. That's a little bit like Databricks. Databricks also seems to be a preference of a lot of technical users, and Snowflake really focuses on easy to understand business. But either way, enough about the products. I am not a tech worker or a DevSecOps or a developer or any kind, and therefore I can't talk in depth about the product. But I do understand numbers, and I can tell you, in my opinion, the numbers are pretty darn good. This company has been growing at about 50% a year revenue growth for more than 5 years. It's very, very consistent, 50%. And if you analyze, well, it was 47% year over year this quarter. And if you analyze the quarter over quarter growth, you had 45%. But then again, you have quarters that were at 55%. So to me, I don't interpret that as any change from the recession. It is idiosyncratic in nature. The growth is stable despite the recession. If the recession had stopped growth, you would see like a big halt, as you see in so many companies. You don't see that with MongoDB. You don't have enough data to associate a teeny tiny drop from 47% to 45%. You don't have enough data to associate that with the recession. So again, it may surprise even more to the upside at the next quarter. Although last quarter was really, really good for MongoDB. Very good. The stock was up 27% in a day. It was an amazing quarter for their Q3 they had. Okay, what are some of the revenue headwinds? Well, I don't see any concentration. Snowflake, I think, is going to try to be a big competitor. But then again, MongoDB is incorporating features that also compete with Snowflake. This is a huge market. There's going to be multiple players in that market. I do believe that this is recession resistant. Digitalization, big data, not only is a big source of cost savings for companies, and MongoDB has a lot of case studies where they save money, but it's also an imperative. I don't think companies are gonna stop spending on this. It is an imperative. When you have databases that date back from the 70s, you have to move really, really fast to the cloud, and that's what MongoDB helps you do. 96% of the revenue is recurring, which is amazing, which is really good. You know, it's a true SaaS software that just has superior economics. And as far as their growth goes, so if you look at the size of the market right now, this is 2023. They've captured between they've captured closer to 2% right now, but the market is going to grow. So you can look at it as they capture between 1% and 2% of the market, depending on how you look at it. So huge, tremendous growth, and we know who the competitors are of MongoDB. Growth by acquisition has been minimal, and marketing expense as a share of revenue is high. It's high, but because they have recurring revenue, because once someone is signed up with MongoDB and has all of their development set up with MongoDB, they're not going to move away from MongoDB. This is very sticky revenue. And so it's okay to justify this expense because they are repeat customers. The customers are repeat customers. So that's good. That's good. So again, this looks like a really good business, growing 50% a year. But let me move on. So are they losing money? Well, a little bit. They're losing 8 million a quarter, but for a company of this size, it's really flat, essentially, because they have 1.8 billion on the balance sheet, which means that it would take 215 years for them to go into bankruptcy. Gross margin is 72%. Gross margin has been increasing. I hope it continues to increase. And the price to forward gross profit, which is going forward, one of my favorite metrics for the channel is a 9.9, which is cheaper than Snowflake and cheaper than a lot of very high growth companies. The price to forward sales ratio is a 7, which is fairly low, fairly low. But all these numbers, when a company grows so fast, I just want to be very, very mindful that valuation needs to be taken with a grain of salt, because these companies grow so fast. And if you hold the company for 2 to 3 years, that is very, very forgiving on valuation, because these companies grow into their valuations. Okay, let's talk about debt. We have a little bit of debt, surprisingly. They have a little bit. It's medium. So I can't say that this company is anti-fragile. They are robust, but they're not in the values. They have quite a bit of debt, but nothing that could threaten them. Um, of bankruptcy, or nothing that would be a headwind, but there's quite a bit of debt that's going to take away from cash flows in the future. The dilution has been okay per my standards. I mean, you could find people who would tell you that this dilution is theft and that they need to stop and that they're a Ponzi scheme, like some people say on Twitter. But I'm fine with this level of dilution. In fact, it's been flat over the past 2 quarters on the dilution. But then again, how do you want your sales, your engineers, your great staff to be paid? Do you want them to be paid in cash and go spend that cash elsewhere, or do you want them to be paid in shares and have an alignment with the company? And I argue that being paid in shares makes you very aligned with the company. Insider ownership is 6%. That's good. Is it founder-led? No, it's not founder-led, but the CEO has been there for 8 years, which when a CEO has been around for 8 years, the CEO becomes the face of the firm. And I do believe that the CEO is a great CEO for this company. He goes by Dev, and there's a lot of very, very nice comments about him on Glassdoor, etc. People seem to really enjoy the CEO. And I've heard him speak a couple of times, and I think he's a very smart fellow. So revenue per employee is it's okay. It's medium, actually. It's okay. I would like to see this a little higher, but then again, revenue is growing so fast. So if they don't hire as much and they're slowing down the pace of hiring, they will grow closer to that. Close to $1 million in revenue per employee. That's really a number that I like to see for any company. Really, companies are so efficient these days. They don't need that many employees. Employees are like the most expensive resource of a company. That's the most expensive resource. So you need to be very, very wise on your human capital. Stock price. So stock price is up significantly from this level. It's about 180, between 180 to 200, depending on when you watch this video. I'm a shareholder of MongoDB. I think if you can get the stock near 150, 160 within a month of posting of this video, I mean, I don't think anything about that, but that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking to buy. This is not investment advice, but that's what I'm looking to buy. And the company is almost a $10 billion valuation, which means that for it to 10x, it would need to be a $95 valuation. And the answer to that is, can it become a 10x? Well, when you take into account the devaluation of the US dollar, what I'll say is, you bet it can. You bet it can, because 95 billion is much closer to 25 billion in 2032 when the dollar is devaluing so fast, and when a dollar of 2032 will be closer to 25 cents of today. So I think this is a very valuable company. They have a long avenue for growth. They do compete with Snowflake and other big players, but the market is huge. Companies don't have a choice. They have to go through this transformation. This product saves money. It is usage-based and not seat-based, which is also very good for SaaS software. So lots of things going on for this company. And I really like the company, and I've owned it for a while. And again, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. This is just entertainment, not investment advice. And I appreciate if you like the video. I appreciate if you can subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I need that for the algorithm, so it's much appreciated. And follow me on Twitter if you can too, at @BeatTheDenominator. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.